What if I told you that one of the biggest disasters in recent history is reshaping how we think about survival and rebuilding? It started with a single spark in Texas, a fire that spiraled out of control, consuming everything in its path. Entire neighborhoods turned to ash, families lost their homes, and the sky was painted red for days. But the real shock came later. The ripple effect of this tragedy reached all the way to Los Angeles, forcing the city to rethink how it could help its neighbors rise again. By the end of this video, you'll see how two of America's most iconic regions are connected by a story of loss, resilience, and hope. It all began on an ordinary afternoon in Texas. Clear skies, warm winds, and an unsuspecting calm. But within hours, that calm turned into chaos. A wildfire broke out in a small, dry patch of land, sparked by what investigators believe was a faulty electrical line. The flames, fueled by strong winds and parched vegetation, spread faster than anyone could have imagined. Families scrambled to evacuate, grabbing whatever they could carry, while fire crews worked tirelessly to hold back the inferno. The devastation wasn't limited to homes alone. Critical infrastructure was engulfed, roads melted, power lines crumbled, and businesses that had been the lifeblood of small communities were reduced to rubble. Entire towns were left unrecognizable, and for many, the only reminder of what once stood were the blackened skeletons of buildings. And yet, the real toll wasn't just physical. The fire claimed lives, leaving families shattered and communities grieving. In some areas, people who had lived through hurricanes and floods said they had never seen destruction on this scale. As one survivor put it, "We lost everything in a matter of minutes, but it feels like we've lost a lifetime." But the story didn't end with the flames. As the fire raged, Los Angeles, a city nearly 1,500 miles away, began to feel the weight of the disaster. The connections were deeper than most people realized. Resources that were already stretched thin in California were now being diverted to help Texas, sparking debates about how one disaster could affect another region so far away. And just as the people of Texas were asking themselves how they'd rebuild, Los Angeles faced a question of its own. How can we step up to help? Just as things seemed at their bleakest, a glimmer of hope emerged. Communities began rallying together, strangers became allies, and an unprecedented plan started to take shape. But what was this plan? And could it truly bring both Texas and Los Angeles back from the brink? That's where this story takes a dramatic turn. As the ashes settled in Texas, the scale of the disaster became painfully clear. Over 500,000 acres scorched, thousands of families displaced, and damages estimated in the billions. While Texas began grappling with the immediate aftermath, Los Angeles was facing a different kind of challenge. The fires in Texas had a domino effect, straining national resources, disrupting supply chains, and creating a ripple of uncertainty that reached all the way to California. Los Angeles, already dealing with its housing crisis and economic recovery from its own wildfires, had a choice to make: watch from afar or extend a helping hand. But helping Texas wasn't as simple as sending resources. LA's leaders, emergency services, and communities had to rethink their strategies, balancing their needs with the growing urgency to support another state in need. That's when the federal government stepped in, declaring the Texas fires a national emergency. FEMA coordinated with Los Angeles and other major cities to pool resources, everything from firefighting equipment to emergency housing assistance. Los Angeles sent hundreds of trained firefighters, helicopters, and even specialized equipment designed to combat wildfires in urban areas. But the most remarkable effort came not from institutions, but from everyday people. In the neighborhoods of LA, people organized fundraisers, donation drives, and support networks to help Texas families rebuild. It wasn't just about money, it was about solidarity. Stories began to emerge of Los Angeles residents opening their homes to Texas evacuees, offering them not just shelter, but a sense of community and hope. The challenges, however, were immense. Los Angeles's own fire recovery efforts were temporarily put on hold, sparking debates among policymakers and the public. Was it wise to redirect resources from one struggling region to another? Critics argued that LA couldn't afford to help, but supporters believed that disasters of this scale required collective action. In the middle of this tug-of-war, an unexpected breakthrough occurred. Urban planners, architects, and innovators from Los Angeles collaborated with Texas officials to create a new blueprint for recovery. This wasn't just about rebuilding what was lost, it was about building better. Stronger, fire-resistant structures, smarter urban layouts, and sustainable resource management became the cornerstones of this ambitious plan. But just as things seemed to be improving, a new challenge arose. Rising tensions between local governments and federal agencies threatened to derail progress. Resources were being stretched thinner by the day, and questions lingered. Would this unprecedented collaboration be enough to rebuild Texas? And would Los Angeles have the strength to recover from the sacrifices it was making? The turning point came when the first signs of recovery began to emerge. In Texas, the combined efforts of Los Angeles, federal agencies, and local communities started to pay off. Temporary shelters transformed into permanent housing projects, and businesses reopened with the help of emergency funds. Los Angeles's innovative urban designs, adapted to Texas's needs, proved to be game changers. But the most powerful moment wasn't the rebuilding of infrastructure, it was the resilience of the people. In a town once reduced to ashes, children played in newly built parks. Families reunited and life slowly began to bloom again. Los Angeles, despite its own struggles, had proven that solidarity and sacrifice could overcome even the gravest of disasters. And yet, questions remained. Was this a blueprint for future crises or just a one-time success? What lessons would both states carry forward as they faced an uncertain future? As the dust settled and the fires became a memory etched into history, one thing was clear. Rebuilding wasn't just about bricks and mortar, it was about resilience, unity, and innovation. Texas rose from the ashes not alone, but with the unwavering support of Los Angeles and countless others who refused to stand by. This story isn't just about recovery, it's a testament to the strength of human connection and the power of hope in the face of despair. But it leaves us with a lingering question. If disaster strikes again, will we be ready to act together, or will we let the flames consume more than just our landscapes? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation alive.